Hello, Algebra 1 students. This is video 6.5. This one is due on 1/12. Today we're going to be talking about dividing polynomials. We've already done that, but we're going to do it in the interest of dividing by the greatest common factor, and I'll show you how that works here shortly. So now that we know how to find GCF, which is what we did in class today, we can now use it. So here's my original equation, and I've told you that we have the greatest common factor of 5x. So what we want to do now, in order to be able to use the fact that we know how to find the GCF, is we need to divide this by our GCF. So what this will turn into is negative 10x squared divided by 5x plus 5x divided by 5x. Now, anytime that you factor out the greatest common factor, we write it out in the front of parentheses like this. Okay. Negative 10 divided by 5 is 2. X squared divided by x is x. So we have 2x. And then we're going to add that to 5x divided by 5x is 1. So what we've done is we have factored out the greatest common factor. Okay, here's another example the same way. I went ahead and found the GCF for you on this one. And so now I want to factor it out. So I'm going to write it in front of parentheses, and then I'm going to divide each piece of this expression by 3, because that's my greatest common factor. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. And so 1 times x to the 4th is x to the 4th. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. Still have to keep my x. And then 12 divided by 4 is 3. Whoa, what did I do that for? Hang on. Sorry. Math mind went a little nuts. Okay, so we should have been dividing by 3. And that was equal to 4. Okay? So this would be your answer if I told you to factor out the GCF. So again, what we just done is called factoring out the greatest common factor. What this will do is it will allow us sometimes to cancel things. It makes factoring problems possible. Like if we didn't factor it out, factoring the thing would be impossible. So it is an essential tool if we're doing factoring work or rational expressions, which we will do both of later. So on this one, I want you to find the greatest common factor and factor it out. So what I want you to do right now is to hit pause, work this problem out, and then hit go and see if you got it right. So do that now. Push pause. Alright, so our greatest common factor, let's see, we got 10, which is 2 times 5, 24, which is 2 times 3 times 2, whoops. 3 out of 2, sorry. And you found these by doing your factoring tree and a trick on the calculator that I will show you. So 18 equals 2 times 3 times 3. Okay. So they all have 1, 2. They don't have 3s and they don't all have 5s, so I can't use those as common. So my greatest common factor for this problem is 2. They all have x's, and the lowest power is x squared. Okay? So now I'm going to factor it out by taking each piece and dividing it by my greatest common factor. Oops, 24, x to the 5th divided by 2, x squared. Oops, should have been a minus, sorry. Minus 18, x to the 4th over 2x squared. Okay. So negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. X squared divided by x squared is just 1. So no x squared. And we'll put this out front just like we did. 24 divided by 2 is 12. X to the 5th divided by x squared. They're like bases and we're dividing, so I'm going to subtract their exponents and get x to the 3rd power. 18 divided by 2 is 9. X squared divided by, or x to the 4th divided by x squared. x2. We're dividing the same base. They both have x as a base. 4 minus 2 is 2. So this is your answer if I told you to factor out the GCF. So we will practice some more with that tomorrow. And that is the end of this video. Thank you for watching.